This is a heater core repair and replacement for 2002 Dodge Neon. This is the Dodge, not the Plymouth version. I think they're pretty much the same. But what you're looking at here is the actual heater core out of the car. On the left here is the heater core, on the right is the evaporator core. And this is the open case. As you can see, I have the top off of it on the floor. You have to pay close attention to this, as there are some hidden screws that you will miss, and if you have to pry it apart, you don't have all the screws out. So work on it a little bit more, and you will find them. One other thing that you would want to be aware of, let me get a flashlight, you can't see, is that there are 3 screws that hold this box into the car. One is behind the coolant filler. You can see I've taken the bottle off, and it actually is, the nut is on the lower bottle, on the right hand side of the bottle. And then there is one here in the middle, and then there's also one that's behind the canister. I was not going to take the canister out to replace this, but in order to get to that nut that's back there, I had to. You can see it back through the pipes. There was one there. So 3 to hold it in, and then 3 inside the car as well. I can show you those. I found that you did not have to pull the dash completely out. By lifting this up as high as you can inside the car, you're able to pull the heater core out with some struggle, but you'll be able to get it out. And I also have taken the car out of gear in order to give myself just a little more room there to make that happen. But I did not have to unplug this wiring harness, and I've unplugged a couple at the top, but I probably would not have had to have unplugged those either. But there's one bolt right here for this. There's a nut where you see that bolt sticking out right there, and I believe that's it for the ones inside the car. I'll give you any more updates that I have. Hope you enjoy this. Okay, what you're looking at here is the end of the steering shaft coming out of the floor, and then the end of the steering column. There's a simple 1 bolt that goes through the steering shaft with a nut and a cotter pin that holds it. That's all you have to take off. You don't need to take off anything else. You don't need to remove the dash. You see, I've just set the dash back, and I set it on some blocks so that it'll be held up. I didn't even take the steering wheel loose. I did take this cover off, but discovered later that that was not necessary. So that's some of the things that you probably will need to know. We're to the point now we're ready to put the dash back in the car, and we will do that, and I will show you the end process. Alright, this is the completed job. You will see this was completed in approximately 6 hours. I noticed online there was one of the gentlemen said 45. I don't know what he was doing, but car is running, and we are ready to put coolant in, which we're going to do tomorrow. You'll notice it's a little dark out here in the garage, but the thing is working. Everything's back in the car. For those of you who are wondering, I did take the seats out of the car just because it's a lot simpler to do it that way, and the dash was not actually removed, other than there are 2 bolts right here on this side, and the same thing, 2 bolts on the other side, and 4 bolts across the top of the dash that actually hold the complete dash in. So don't try to take the dash cover off, but just take the entire frame and everything. I never unplugged the harness except for the one that goes to the heater core itself on this job, so you don't even have to do that. As I stated before in the first video, all we did was raise the corner of the dash as high as we could and slip the heater box out underneath. And I hope you enjoy your time doing this, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.